How's it going, folks? Welcome to Wake Up World. My name is Nate. What I do here, if this is your first time watching, I just ask you to hear me out, listen to what I got to say. The comment box is open. Write what you want to. I just ask you to be a little bit respectful, not for my sake, but for others. Maybe reading that. Maybe parents don't want their kids reading that type of language. But hey, you got freedom of speech. Do what you do. It's not gonna hurt me any. I don't need a safe box here. But what I do here is I talk about current world events happening around the world and a lot what's going on here in America. And this actually subject happened here in America a month ago. Almost exact, actually. So, hear me out. Listen to what I got to say. Write what you want. But I want to ask your opinion. In the following article, or what this post is about, what this topic is about, was this right of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, where they truly, is it true that they are infringing constitutional rights, or are they themselves infringing constitutional rights? Let me go ahead and start with a story here. In West Virginia, at Mingo County Schools, Mingo County High School, there was a revival thrown by students. Now, from what I read here on the original post, from their local news media, this was after hours. This was after school. This was an after-school activity. Let me just go ahead and read the first couple paragraphs here. If you want, go ahead and search it out yourself. I went to End Times headlines. It's was posted on May 8th, so you got to go back a couple days. You'll see it, and I'll take you to the original link if you click read more. But this is what it says. Mingo County schools have changed policies regarding student religious groups after activities led by evangelist Matt Hartley at Mingo Central High School were determined to be a violation of state and federal law. Let me reread that. A violation of state and federal law. They're saying that they broke the law by doing this. Let me read on. During the week of April 13th, religious sermons conducted at Mingo County High School caught the attention of the religious watchdog organization, or BOLIES, the Freedom from Religion Foundation. On April 18th, correspondence was sent from Patrick Elliott, Freedom from Religion staff attorney, to Roberta Bobera, the superintendent at Mingo County School, regarding the unconstitutional religious assembly. Now, this is what the reporter is saying. But the way that is said right there, let me read that last part there. Mingo County Schools regarding unconstitutional religious assembly. Let me read the First Amendment to you. Because this was not, the First Amendment, the Bill of Rights, was not created a month ago. Regardless of the dark history, and look, I got native blood in me. I got a lot of friends and family that are native. I went to school with all natives, so and Job Corps, so I don't like the dark history part of this, but the founders of this country did establish something called the Bill of Rights, and it was for every single American on this soil had the rights of. And this is what it says. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Did it say in a church only? No. Did it say in a designated church area? No. It says prohibiting, make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably assembled to petition the government for regress of grievance. So, going back to the story here. Was this school, what these students did, unconstitutional? Let me go ahead and just flip the example around. I can understand me as a pastor going to a teacher that I know is a believer and saying, hey, you should get a group of students together and let's throw a revival concert. Let's go ahead and tell the student body. They can say no, right? I can understand if the teacher then asks the students, that's where the Freedom from Religion Foundation, even though those students are technically believers, could probably get them. But the thing is, from what this sounds like, and I may be missing a few points here, but this is just what the article says. These students did this after school. They organized this. And let me tell you something. I bet if 10 people showed up, they would still worship God right then and there, as they have the right to do so. But now they're catching this grief. Now, again, I can understand if the teacher went to the students about it. But no, it was the students that did this after school. Yes, on school grounds, because, hey, they got a stage and they can use the utilities from the school. I get that point. But now the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the bullies of Christianity, basically, because I don't see them going after anybody else, I did a video on that, are now giving this school grief. Let me ask you a question. And again, I am not in any way, shape, or form politically correct, so don't expect that here. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Do we not make it? Is it not becoming more and more of a need for other religions? And I say religions. I don't have religion. I have a relationship with the one true living God. But other religions out there to meet their needs. For example, for Muslims, do not just schools, but public areas and workplaces now make a set time or a set place for them to, so they can go at that time that they do their thing at the certain direction they bow to, the several times a day that they do it. Do they not make do they not meet needs for that now? They do, and it's becoming more and more popular across the board. And I say the word popular because it's becoming more and more a thing now. I'm seeing it even at the mall. Okay, let's spin it a different way. Judaism, where this all stems from as far as Christianity goes. So if this is a Jewish family and they call up the school board and say, hey, my son or my daughter or both are not going to be able to attend school from this date to this date because it's the feast times, and we don't expect any catch-up homework. We don't expect to have them do any of that stuff because this is their constitutional right. Guess what? Probably a lot of them they're going to probably say, no, you got homework, but we can, respect that, and they probably do. There's even school activities around the Chinese New Year, things of Buddhism. There's in Hinduism, in paganism, in all these things that, hey, yeah, no, you could do that here. It's safe. It's your constitutional right. But as soon as a kid says, hey, let's throw a revival at school, guess what? Those students had the right not to show up, but they did. They had the right to leave too. They're just as much as American as I am. The same rights. But here's the thing. Here's the big one, and this is my closing point here. Sorry, I've been blacksmithing. I got coal all over me, and that stuff is itchy after a while. You know what? The one thing that is pressed upon kids that is, it's not viewed as a religion, but even YouTube will place it under the category of religion, and that's atheism. The evolution theory is forced into kids' skulls in pretty much from the ending of grade school into where I'm from, junior high into high school. And guess what? If you don't do the curriculum that the school board and of that state and in general federally, then you'll fail. Could you imagine if a bunch of parents, let's say 100,000 parents, let's say a whole state, stood together as parents and they want the best for their children, and they called up their local schools that their children go to and say, guess what? Because it's my constitutional right, I don't want my son or my daughter to have to learn the evolution theory because we don't believe in that, and they're not going to learn that. We don't want them to. Guess what's going to happen to them? They're going to fail the class. And most likely the state is going to get involved into the kid's living situation. That's what would happen. I could see the headlines. 100,000 parents stood together, and this is now what the state is doing. But that's forced down. That's part of curriculum. Could you imagine if a student says, I refuse to learn this, they're going to fail the class? Does not atheism have books? Does not atheism have a set things that they believe in? And if you say, oh, well, it's not belief, of course it's belief. And if you say it's not faith, then you don't truly believe what you do if you don't have faith in it. The beautiful thing about science is you answer a question to write more questions. You get the answer to write more questions and find more answers. You know what the true evolution is? It's evolution theory in itself, and it's a theory taught as fact. Evolution theory, catch that. Evolution theory, it is the one thing that it constantly evolves and changes its mind as scientists progress. That's it. That's pretty much it. But it's taught as fact. Do you think the Freedom from Religion Foundation would step in if they got a call? Hey, my son and my daughter feel attacked because their science teacher is calling basically what they believe false by not even saying it, but they're forcing evolution down their throat, and the school board's going to fail my son or my daughter because we don't believe in it and we want to pull them out. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is not going to do a thing. Besides, probably laugh at you. This video is not to attack the Freedom from Religion Foundation. They're bullies as it is. This is to ask you what was done to this school, what is being done to the school by this group of bullies. Is it constitutionally right, or is the Freedom from Religion Foundation infringing that student's rights and that school's rights? That's the question, guys. With that, I really hope to see some comments. If you want, we can extend this out to next week. If not, we'll see you next week for another Current World event. But again, please comment, please share this. This is not for my glorification. It's to get the truth out there and to get people talking about what's really going on in this country. Do we even have a constitution anymore? God bless.